if we have that time, then yes, we can plan. But we don't have that time to know. I'm a gut feeling type of person. Like, but if it messes up, it's gonna be an exciting time. Like if it goes great, then great. But sometimes some people just wants the drama, just want the action of it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chinterviews. My name is Markus, also known as the Chintervidual, and today I am joined by Taylor, aka Spunkytaylor, TTRPG performer and content creator who is featured in various APs and shows no signs of stopping. Taylor, welcome to the show.
Hey, happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming on. Taylor, glad to have you here. And let us just dive right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the beautiful world of tabletop RPGs.
As I said, I'm Taylor. I'm a POC / Black variety content creator and TTRPG performer. Also, to add on to them, I am a personal assistant for content creators too, off to the side. I got into the world of like TTRPG. It was like, if I had to be real, like I did a lot of those writing forums, like on Tumblr and all that. So, a lot of people starts there. Then in my high school, they had a games club, and the games club had D&D. Obviously, I was not allowed to play it because they said girls don't play Dungeons and Dragons. But obviously, I proved them wrong. But so I saw how that looked, and it took me a while to get the courage to do it until a couple of my friends have shown me different, like just Dungeons and Dragons was the basic. And then as you know, I had a group of friends that showed me World of Darkness, VTM and stuff. So that was like the first system I thoroughly like researched and learned the most of to do like good builds and stuff for that more. And then after that I explore more like indie styles of games. And the biggest one that will rest in my heart would be Monster of the Week. Monster of the Week will always be my favorite 10 out of 10. Love it. It's just so like rules light, heavy, and it's just more of the imagination. It's like, that's my favorite part of the TTRPG where it's like the imagination.
What got you to go from playing tabletop RPGs with your friends at a table to actually doing actual plays with people? What was for you the motivation to start doing that?
The motivation for me to start doing that is I've been a content creator for 10 years now. Ever since I was in high school, little 16 on me, I did it all. Did the gaming, I did the book reviews. I tried to follow the trends of YouTube, not to be that person. Like I seen the evolution of it. And then but a goal for me when I was a kid and stuff is I always wanted to be an actor. I took 1,000 improv classes. I went to art schools. Even in college, I got a 3rd degree in theater arts to make sure I had the passion of acting in my life. During the pandemic time on TikTok, I made original characters. People make cosplay tags, and you just basically role play, act out scenes on TikTok by duetting people and stuff. And so it grew me as a cosplayer and a content creator. And the next you know, I started like role playing in Discord servers. And after that, I was like, I could just do D&D, basically, TTRPG games. I had a friend invite me to a table to play VTM. The whole series is on my channel. It's called the Devil's Hangman. It was my first time ever producing, because it was something like, they said, we would love to have this recorded. And I was like, I'll learn to record an actual play. And I studied it by watching, the big dogs out there, Critical Role, Dimension 20, NADPOD. I watched how they do it. And I was like, people just do this for content, and people like listening to it. Like, I like listening to it. It's almost, it's like you're listening to a podcast, and like, it's a good old podcast, but sometimes you just want to be just taken off to a different world and stuff. And that's what I associate with APs. It's like, I was like, I love my podcasters. We sit down, talk about pop culture and stuff, but sometimes I just want to listen to something fantasy and then think about it in my own head and imagine what I picture everyone look like and stuff. And it was really nice. And I want to give that same feeling to others. So I would like to thank my group, my first VTM group, for that.
When you started to wing the production of your first AP, what were like the biggest challenges you ran into?
Oh, everything. Audio mixing, the worst. Don't know. I'm still learning. I'm still taking classes to understand audio, because like I don't have an audio. Well, I have an audio interface now, so I can hear levels better now. But like back in the day, I'm winging it. I don't know. I don't know the first thing what I needed to, because I knew how to make my own like YouTube videos, like my gaming, my streams and stuff. But then having like other people involved, like 7 people at your table or something involved, you have to figure out how to show off their screens. Like, are we doing webcam? Are you doing a picture? Organizing that, like doing that through like Discord is where we started it from. I was like, we tried to do it, which is funny enough because nobody else has done this. We tried to do it on Instagram video first because Discord was not doing well for our DM. And I didn't know what these other sites was. Like, I wasn't in the community enough to ask for help or advice. Nobody knows who I am, and I don't know who they are in reality. So it's like, so there's no, like, all I can do is sit here, do research and stuff, and research and watch YouTube. They said, well, if you pay like $30 a month, you can get this system or something like this. And I'm like, I don't have enough money to invest in this because I need to justify that I'd be producing like all the time. Because right now I'm just producing my friend's game. We're goofing around right now. I'm practicing, they're practicing, we're all practicing right now. So it's like, it's the worst thing you're gonna see on the channel. We tell amazing stories and stuff, but me recording and stuff probably is the worst thing you're gonna see. You're gonna cringe at it. I do apologize to everyone that sees it, but I'm keeping it up on my channel because I'm proud that I did it in the end. Because not only that, I edited it. I put sound effects on it. I made the intro for it. I did everything I could for those games and stuff. And it was just like, it took me a year to put out all the episodes out, which I think was about 20 episodes that I did. Yeah. So yeah, I just went on in because I was like, if I could produce my own content, I could produce others, but it was a big learning curve. And I'm like, I don't think I could do this all the time.
It shows you like how much is going on behind the scenes of such a production once you start doing it yourself, even on a small scale for your very own, very small first actual play production.
Yeah, like it really was eye-opening that I understood like you need a team or at least one other hand with it, especially that you're a player yourself too. So you're trying to be a player plus a producer and everything. That's just a lot to think of in that moment.
Besides doing the production for the APs, getting into actually recording your games and playing online in front of other people, what were so far in the actual plays you've been involved in, what were some of your favorite moments that you had at those tables?
Hard question. I think like my favorite moments is when I just get randomly a stroke of random genius on the stupidest plans you can ever heard.
Okay.
I love to think out of the box. Like, yes, like easily, like if we're walking down a path, you can just turn left. But in my brain, I was like, let's just get some rope and some balloon and helium and we'll fly over the path. Doesn't that sound cool, you guys? I know it's gonna be such a hard DC, but that just sounds so fun in my brain. Cause I love the imaginary, the fantasy of it in my head that I love to just challenge and stuff. I think one of my favorites was for I did a quest over on Friends Who Roll Dice we was doing a game where we threw a birthday party for a dragon.
Oh, cool.
And we was at, yeah. And like, I remember our friend and our group got trapped into like this orca giant's house and stuff. And then I had my character transfer into a rat to sneak past the giant to go out there. And there was a back door. And then we was like, we could easily go out the back door. But then the DM said, there's a doggy door on the door, and I was just getting nervous. It's like, there might be a dog outside. We didn't hear a dog. I could easily ask like a perception check. Do we see a dog and stuff? But my brain, I have to think 10 times steps ahead of time. So I asked, I said, is there a dog biscuit in the house? And they're like, yeah, it's like a really giant dog biscuits. It's a giant's house. So it's like, all right, we're carrying this dog biscuit. All of us that's in this house, we're carrying this dog biscuit. We're going outside. And I know it was a waste of time, but in my head, I thought it was a genius plan. Because just in case a dog comes in, we throw the biscuit, distract the dog, and run.
What kind of general energy do you bring as a player to a table? What is the thing, if I would ask some of your fellow players to like describe the energy and vibes of Taylor, what would they say?
I think they would call me a grab bag. You don't know what you're gonna get from me. Like, yeah, because it's just, I feel the feeling of the game. If it's like a goofy little game, I'm going to be very goofy and be extra. But if it's a dark game, then I'm very like mysterious, keep it low. You don't know me, hold my cards close to my chest energy. So it's just like, it goes out the vibe of the story. So you don't know what you're going to get. So sometimes I get the burst of energy to be goofy, and sometimes I get the burst of energy just to be dark and mysterious and hang in the back a little bit, maybe talk a little less and just do more listening around before I get involved. Like, but my brain is always calculating.
Right. Is there any preferred role that you have in a group of characters? Would you say that you prefer to be the face of the group, or are you the kind of player who likes to do the decision making?
I like decision makings. I like to do like be like, again, I like to be the team player and talk with the group first. But if the group doesn't decide, and like if we are under a time crunch, I would be the tall voice and be like, we're doing this. If anybody objects, please say it now, or forever hold your peace. But I made my decision right now, and here is my decision.
So you're not the kind of player who enjoys spending half a session just coming up with a plan.
If we have that time, then yes, we can plan. But we don't have that time. No, I go with, I'm a gut feeling type of person. Like, but if it messes up, it's gonna be an exciting time. Like if it goes great, then great. But sometimes some people just wants the drama, just want the action of it.
That's the thing. That's the drama you wanted, and sometimes you need to make a decision to make things happen, and you see afterwards how well it worked.
Like, sometimes you just gotta understand there's consequences for your actions. Once you go in that mindset, you just gotta go.
Exactly. The first actual play that you were in and that you produced was The Devil's Hangman, the Vampire the Masquerade game.
Yes.
And Vampire the Masquerade was also one of the first tabletop RPGs that you were introduced to, or The World of Darkness and D&D were some of the first ones. When you got back to playing Vampire the Masquerade for the actual play, did you feel like you had a better grip on the game and the setting than you had the first time when you played it? Or were you still learning a lot about the game?
I think I had a decent grip to wing stuff, but I'm also learned that I'm not afraid to ask questions mid-game. I know a big thing with people in TRPG games, like especially for live streams and stuff, you don't want to ask too many questions. You want to look like a professional. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing this. And I'm over here like, if I don't, I will say it right there and then. I was like, hey, I want to do this, but I understand that if I can't, just please tell me if I can't or how I can do it. Because I was like, cause I know there's moves and stuff like that. There's not like a D&D Beyond for VTM. So some people use their own different type of styles of character sheets and stuff. I'd be finding moves and stuff in other books and stuff, merging it together, and like not everyone knows the knowledge of those moves, and I don't even know if I'm rolling it right in something. So it's like a learning time every time I do something that I find like, oh, am I allowed to mix these classes together, or was I supposed to do this and stuff? And that's what the great part of session 0 is. Hopefully I'm doing it right.
From my own experience, when I listen to an actual play or to a TTRPG podcast, I personally enjoy when there's also a little bit of conversation about how the rules of the game work. I like listening to a actual play where there's also people learning the game, because sometimes I look up an actual play of a game that I haven't played myself yet, but that I'm interested in, and I listen to the people play it. And when they then also start talking about the rules, I can just sit in on their table and basically also learn a little bit about the rules. So I think it's sometimes really fun to have someone at the table asking, hey, how does this work? Please explain this to me.
Yeah. Because, if I could use a big example was Dungeons and Drag Queens from Dimension 20. I think, like, if you're a beginner to D&D and you want to listen to something fun and also educational, Dungeons and Drag Queens is the best series of Dimension 20 has for beginners. That they because the drag queens on there, they're not afraid to ask questions. They'd be like, can I do this? Where does it say on my sheet? What modifier do you do it? And then seeing the patience of Brennan Lee Mulligan, just explaining calmly, using the terminology, explaining to the viewers at home too. I think I grew as a better D&D player after watching that 4-part series. Like, there was a lot of things I didn't learn. There's some terminologies I didn't know. Because funny story, I didn't understand what saving throws was for a really long time. And that's like, and I know that's basic for a lot of people. They like, you don't know what a saving throw is? I didn't comprehend it well. But like the way that Brandon explained it on the show, it just stuck with me. And I was like, okay, cool. So having like DMs like that doesn't mind taking the time, feeling patient, being patient with you and explaining stuff. It's just a beautiful educational moment. So that's why I'm a huge fan of Dimension 20, because they don't mind sitting there and just explaining.
Exactly. And it's also a nice example for people who might be watching it and who are also new to the hobby to see that it's okay to ask these questions. It's okay to just briefly interrupt the game so that we know everyone at the table is on the same page and everyone understands how the game works.
Just let everyone know at home, you're not stupid for asking questions. You're not stupid. I know tonight I'm going to be in a Candela game, and I have never played this system before, so I know I'm going to be here asking questions during the stream. And I'm going to be like, what do I roll? Do I roll this? Okay. All right, great. Thank you. Can I do this? And you just tell me the roll? Perfect.
You are also a content creator. You have been creating content for 10 years. Is there anything from your time, from your experience that you have with content creation that you've taken with you into these actual play productions?
I think community is a big thing for me. That's what I took from YouTube days. Because a lot of the times, again, I'm not, like I said, I'm not afraid to talk to strangers. I'm not afraid to send out an email to a big creator and being like, help, you don't know me, but help. But I grew like very great friendships with big YouTube creators and stuff because of that. And they saw potential in me. And like I said, anytime I see content creators or content creation stuff, I love to see the community of that content creation. So when I got into the TTRPG space, I know it's heavily on X and Threads, which I never really used a lot. I had them, but I never used it a lot. And so once I got into it, I forced myself into the algorithm of the TTRPGs just to see like cast and call, who's in here, who's big, who's the top dogs of this space, who do I supposed to look at and stuff. And once I see that and I see the most loving, safe community ever, I just carry that, carry what I learned from YouTube, how to approach people, how to talk, how to ask questions. I joined Discord servers and stuff. Being involved, being part of the community, that's the biggest thing that I grab from being a YouTuber and a content creator.
let's say hypothetically, someone's listening to our conversation here, and they're thinking, oh, yeah, Taylor mentions that she has no issue just reaching out to people, just connecting to people. I should do that as well to also build my community. But I also notice that it's kind of exciting, or it makes me a bit nervous to just reach out to people who, in my perception, are way bigger than me, do way bigger stuff. Do you have any advice for people who might be struggling with just reaching out to people because they think like, why would they bother reading my message?
I think the biggest advice I could say is get that thought out of your head. I know it's easier said than done, but it's like, if you don't try, you never get an answer in the first place. And everybody knows no response is also a response. It may hurt if you see it was left on red and stuff. They could be busy or don't have time, but they may get spam with messages and stuff. But in the end, at least you tried. You can also, I've seen people all the time, at people on Twitter publicly asking questions, and they will answer back publicly. And it is okay. I'm not saying spam them with 1,000 questions and stuff. But it's good to if you're producing your own show and you really want a certain player at your table, just come to them with an idea. Don't be like, we should collab one day. Then you're definitely not going to get an answer back. You can message them being like, hey, I'm producing this show. These are the days, these are the time. Love your content. Love what you do. I think you'd be perfect for this. If you have time to get back to me, great. If you don't, no sweat. And so, always have a backup plan. And it's the best way to start a conversation with people. You already laid it out what you need. You laid it out that you know who they are, and not just picking people out of numbers. Don't pick people because they have numbers. Pick people that you've seen their work, you understand what they're doing, and do your research. Do your research before you just grab people just to grab people.
And one way or the other, you got the message out, you contacted someone about it, right. And you never know what comes from that.
Yeah, that's what I did to a lot. I pitched myself to a lot of people, not just TTRPG wise, but I pitched myself as a content creator to brand deals and sponsorships. Just when I like your stuff and I use this product and I would love to promote it on my channel, and this is what I can do to promote it on my channel. Is how I got a lot of deals and stuff. I know a lot of people have seen me do Crescent Moon alchemy stuff. They had a service called Side Questers, and I signed up for that, and they never asked me to dress up as an orc and wear a backpack around and run around. That was all me. I was I had a vision, I had a pitch, and I said, I will do this. I will be a mascot for myself for this company to be a orc woman and run around with their products. And what they said, they love it. And I keep doing it. I love doing it. And I created a special connection and bond with them that now they send me products and stuff, and they're great. I love them. I love their mission statement, but I would never have done that until I pitched myself and telling them this is what I'm going to do. I know I'm just an ambassador, but I'm I'm going balls to the walls on this. And cause I know other content creators are just hey, I got this product and this is dope. Me, I'm an orc woman, and I'm explaining to you that we're in a thieves guild together now. But to join my thieves guild, you must buy this backpack first, and then we can join together in harmony. Who does
fantastic. That? Yeah, no, who does that?
Who does that? Who does that? Yeah. I pitch myself all the time for sponsorship brands and said, I am a cosplayer. I will go way out, way out of creativity and everything to promote your product. I pitch myself to a lot of people.
I can tell you, if I would work at a company and someone would message me and tell me yo, I'm going to market your product and I'm going to dress up as an orc as well, I would be deal, let's go. Here you have everything you need. Is there, within the TTRPG actual play space, is there anyone or any table or group specifically that you would love to one day play with or be at the same table with?
Starlight Tales. I love their content so much. I love them, and I love Dimension 20. Obviously, I will make my way to Dimension 20 level one day. But Starlight Tales, just because I'll have the group I have followed on TikTok for such a long time. They're creative, amazing, beautiful people, and like I follow them a lot. I try to promote as much as I can, retweeting and everything I can, and they tell the most amazing story and everything they do. I love I have a marketing degree. I love branding. I love everything. They do it fantastic. Their branding, fantastic. Marketing and business skills, fantastic. And all that gorgeous to me. There's like their storytelling, branding and stuff. Sign me up.
There's also a very big variety of players over at Starlight Tales. And just this variety of stories that they also tell in their live streams.
Yes. Like, I love, like, I believe they did, like, I don't want to mess it up. I believe they did a pirate one, and I really want to be at a pirate table so bad, too. I made a pirate character that has not been at a table yet, and I want to do it. It is, people probably seen it on TikTok, but it is a pirate where half their face is gold. I have gold flakes on my face, and bone is quote unquote exposed on my cheek and stuff. And my pirate was cursed, and now they live almost like a Midas touch type of thing. But like, yeah. So like they just like they touch gold that they shouldn't have, and now their body quote unquote is slowly decaying into gold, and they have to figure out a way to break that curse. That is a concept I had with my character for such a long time, and I want to play it so badly at a table.
So in case anyone at Starlight Tales is listening to this, Taylor has a pirate character good to go, ready to go. In case you want to do another pirate story, she's right here.
I'm here for any stories and stuff, or just be in y'all's presence. This is a beg. This is a cry for help. No, because I do like one of the players on there, TT Brett, on there, and we're not mutuals on TikTok, but I did do one of their videos a long time ago. There was a Hogwarts professor trend. They had a Hogwarts professor, and I did too. And there was they did a duet where their character's eyes just like widen and it looked like they're shocked about something. So I had a funny idea to have my professor trip over a rock and slow motionly fall. And that video went viral, and that video helped me become very popular on TikTok. And I like to thank TT Brett for that, because that was so funny, because I know nothing about Harry Potter. It was just, I love being a magical school professor, and I tripped over a rock slow motion for that video. And that's how I followed their content for a very long time, which led me to Starlight Tales.
Amazing. Talking about your characters, you at this point have played a lot of different characters. Mm-hmm. If you had to pick one of the characters that you've played to spend an entire weekend with, so specifically with that character, an incarnation of that character just appears in your room and you have to spend an entire weekend with them, which character that you played would you pick?
I would pick... This is hard. I think Essence Cobra. She is my first ever vampire that I have made in VTM world, and I've carried her over into other games and stuff. She's probably about to be in some more games like Philly by Night and stuff more too. And like, I love Essence because it's the confidence she has in life is the same confidence that I have in life, and I think we just work well together. She owns a nightclub. I love clubbing and dancing and stuff. She owns a bunch of snakes. I love snakes. That's why I made her. And stuff. So I think we would have a fun weekend plan to hang out. She makes sure that I am not bored.
We briefly talked about what kind of tables you would like to play at, but is there also a specific TTRPG that you would still like to play as an actual play?
Thirsty Sword Lesbians and Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Oh.
Those are the two. I know I'm in the World of Darkness stuff, but I've been just in the VTM realm. Mm-hmm. I have read Werewolf of the Apocalypse, and I have read the Hunter's book. I think it's like my dream campaign is to do all three of the World of Darkness. Like, either like I make 3 separate characters, like the whole table makes 3 separate characters that would probably meet later or something like that, or we are all a hodgepodge with those characters. Like somebody's a hunter, someone's a werewolf, someone's a vampire, and we all play that together as like a group society in the world of darkness, maybe trying to stop a blood hunt. I don't know. So I was like, I really like that concept and stuff. And I really also like Thirsty Soul Lesbians. I really want to play that too. It just looks like a fun book. I read it too. I really want to play that also. I love the mechanics of the game too.
Fantastic. Taylor, thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you so much for telling us all about the fantastic stuff that you do. For our listeners, if you want to check out what Taylor does, in the description of this episode, I will have links to all the information about Taylor, so you can make sure that you find her soon wherever her next adventure takes her. And who knows, maybe that will be at Starlight Taze. You never know. The future is unwritten.
Who knows? Like, my DMs are open for
exactly.
You guys. Forever. The DMs are open. For anyone out there in reality, my DMs are open.
Until the end of time.
To the end of tonight, I'm open. Email, pigeon mail, it's open out there. Send that message. I'm approachable.
That I can confirm that. That is very true. Taylor is very approachable. So
thank you.
Taylor, once again, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for having this conversation. And I'll be keeping an eye on any upcoming actual play that's coming up with you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening to this episode of the Chinterview. Take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.